Good morning and welcome to another week of distance learning. This week for writing, we'll be reading The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Many of you celebrated Dot Day earlier in the year by creating your own dots and showing how unique you were, so the story should be familiar to you. All this week we'll be able to write a literary essay for the first time, but don't worry, we're going to walk you through it throughout the week. We will be using this sheet or a sheet very similar to it to track some of the different reading skills found in this story. For today's focus, we will be focusing on this square, character, feelings, and traits. What type of details do you think you should be on the lookout for if you're trying to determine a character's feelings? Pause this video if you need a little time to think. I keep thinking about Because of Winn-Dixie. You know, Winn-Dixie is constantly showing his big teeth and wagging his tails, and those are signs that Winn-Dixie is feeling happy or excited. So those are some details you might look out for. But what kind of details might you look out for to prove different character traits? Again, pause this video if you need a moment to think. Again, Winn-Dixie comes to mind, only now I'm thinking about Opal. Opal took care of Winn-Dixie by giving him a bath and a home. She listens to all of Miss Franny's stories, and she visits Gloria Dump pretty much every day after she meets her so that Gloria doesn't feel so lonely. All of these actions prove that Opal is a very kind-hearted or big-hearted person. Do you remember when you came up with that character theory in class? So, as you're reading The Dot today, we want to be on the lookout for details that prove how the character Vishti is feeling or what kind of person she is. Now it's time to get ready to read The Dot. While you're reading, I want you to ask yourselves if any of the words or phrases showed a trait or a feeling in that paragraph. If the answer is no, keep reading. But if the answer is yes, then we're going to need to add it to our Foursquare sheet and maybe do some highlighting. Only focus on the first box today. Before we read too much, I want to show you a few tricks. Some of you might have printed this story out and you have highlighters and pencils ready at hand, but some of you might be using the online version too, so I want to make sure you know where your tools are. Anytime you click and drag words, right next to the color font is also a highlighter tool, and you can pick any color highlighter and it will highlight the text for you. If you highlight something on accident, just drag your mouse across it and then just click None as your highlighter. To add a comment, you do the same thing. You highlight the part that maybe gives you a strong thought, and you hit this plus sign down over at the side, and it allows you to type in your comments that you're thinking as you're reading. This will help keep track of all of your notes, even not from the computer. The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Our class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. I don't think any of that really showed me what Vashti was feeling or what kind of person Vashti is. Let's keep reading. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Ooh, this really stands out to me. I just can't draw. Anytime somebody says that word like that, I can't do something, it shows me that they're not very confident. Very confident. Okay. Do you see how I've highlighted that part because I think it's important for character, feelings, and traits? And I added a comment there. Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. "There!" Ooh, that's another thing that seems very strong. Can you think what kind of person just goes there to get it over with? She's very eager to get it over with. She's being kind of careless. She's not trying very hard. And honestly, it might seem a little obnoxious even. So again, I have it highlighted and I'm going to add my comments. So there's not a lot of effort. It seems a bit obnoxious. And she's eager to finish. She's eager to get done what the teacher asked her to do. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. Ooh, this statement, "but I can," is kind of the opposite of earlier where she said she can't draw. This comment here is a little bit more positive from her. I've read most of the beginning of the story, so I want to take my notes and my highlights and I want to put that onto my Foursquare sheet. So character, feelings, and traits, I'm just going to click where it says type here. I'm going to delete the type here part. And then I'm going to type the beginning. Again, you might have this printed out and be handwriting too, and that's totally okay. So beginning, Vashti was really not feeling good, was not feeling confident. Okay, go back to our notes. She didn't have a lot of effort. She was eager to get done. Not a lot of effort, eager to finish. And then our last comment was she was a bit more positive about the name. So started to be a tiny bit, not a whole lot, a tiny bit more positive about her name. Okay. Do you see how I read the story first to highlight and take notes on things and details that stood out about Vashti's feelings and traits? And then I added it to my chart. This is going to help me keep track and later in the week help me to write that literary essay I told you about. Now it's your turn. I want you to finish reading the dot and see what other details pop out at you for Vashti's feelings or what kind of character she is. Good luck!